Can everybody hear me okay, by the way? Yeah. Okay, I'll just turn this up. So, welcome to day 8 of Feast for the Soul 2026, our 19th feast. I'm Sue Cooper, based in Nottingham, in England, close to Sherwood Forest in one direction, and in the other direction, close to the tree of Sir Isaac Newton. So, I've got two trees, one where Robin hid in and got up to mischief, and the other one where Isaac sat against and saw the apple drop. So it's rather nice to be connected with forests and apples and oak trees and nature. Feast, as I say, has been going 19 years. Started by a wonderful lady called Valerie Sconey, who I didn't have the pleasure to meet, but Sarah McLean did. And oh, Sarah's just come on. Hi, Sarah. And then Sarah took over about 10, 12 years ago. And about 4 years ago, she asked me to co direct it with her. And it's been a joy, maybe 5 years ago. It's been an absolute joy. We're making it simple, we're making it easy. And this year, we are looking at inner peace, harmony, and compassionate living. And I think that when we find that inner peace, and a mindfulness practice is really the lead to that, we move into the awareness of that sort of heart coherence, that heart resonance, where we start to be able to make choices. And it's like having an inner compass harmony. And I believe that's probably where compassion comes from. That inner compass, the first 7 letters of compassion, where we can start to feel when we move away from this very active thinking mind, that 60 to 80,000 thoughts, into this space of heart coherence and peacefulness. Then we can make choices that nurture and nourish us. We can make conscious choices to not nurture and nourish, but whatever we want, we can start to become that conscious choice maker. And when the world outside gets noisy, which it's increasingly doing so, however, we can find that inner peace by practice. And I think somebody said the other day, we don't wait until we're in that place of noise and chaos without having a practice. We practice so that when we're in there, we can just go, okay, I recognize this. Let's just move into that place now of peace and coherence. So I have forgotten to spotlight myself, so I will spotlight. Here I am. So, shall we now move into this practice? And the quote I'd like to share at the very beginning is one that's very close to my own spiritual practice. So before I do that, let's just take a breath. Let's just take a conscious breath. And this quote came from Benjamin Franklin, I believe, but I think it's also others have followed suit. And it's, tell me and I forget. Teach me and I remember. Involve me and I learn. And the practice of mindfulness is about involving. It's the experience of feeling the feeling of what happens when you move into a place of stillness. And when we move into it individually, it's wonderful. When we move into it as a collective, it's really got a power. So let's move into a mindfulness practice. And the mindfulness practice is started from a Buddhist practice, a Buddhist roots, and brought to the West by John Kabat-Zinn. And his description of mindfulness is it's the awareness that arises when we pay attention on purpose in the present moment, non-judgmentally. So that's quite a lot, but it's really about this incredible superpower we have, which is our power of attention. And then when we set an intention to go with our attention, we can create magic in our own lives. And for today, we're looking for that inner peace. So let's start with our awareness of our body. So let's find where we feel comfortable. And let me guide a lovely practice. And these practices are some of the Peace Finder practices, which are short practices you can do individually, but I'm going to string them together so that we get a full meditation. And then afterwards, we'll talk about the individual sections of the practice. So let's start by moving away from the inner world, our attention, to the world within. And we do that by closing our eyes or softening our gaze. So just find that place of comfort with your eyes closed or softened. And now I invite you to start to become aware of the breath, to start to feel the breath. And from a beginner's practice, which every day we're a beginner really, aren't we? Every moment's a new beginning. Start to become aware of the breath entering the nose if you can, ideally. And simply notice from that space of the nasal passages, the temperature of the air entering, moving up the nasal passages, and the air leaving. That's all we're doing for the moment. Breathing in up the nose and breathing out through the nose. Just a natural breath. And see if you can notice that the air is probably a little cooler as you breathe in. And as you track the breath leaving, notice it may be a little warmer. In the northern hemisphere, the body temperature of 36 or 95 is usually higher than the outside air in January. So the air will be cooler as you breathe in. So all we're doing maybe you can feel the air on the top lip as you breathe out, maybe. See if you can hold that focus. Very subtle. And if you find your mind wandering, that's absolutely fine. The practice is holding the attention on this breath. So let's take this a little deeper and let's sense the breath expanding the heart space. So as we breathe in naturally, we feel the breath as the chest rises and the chest falls on the out breath. Keep it natural. Do you want to get into a little rhythm now of the breath? And a really beautiful way to do this is by counting the breath. So not only is our attention being held on the movement of the chest, but also on the count. So my first suggestion is that we count breathing in for 4, hold for 4, out for 4, and hold for 4. It's what they call box breathing. So see if you can follow that in your own time rather than my count. Breathe in for 4, hold for 4, out for 4, hold for 4, and then repeat. Sense into your own rhythm. If you lose the count, that's fine. Just start again. This is a practice. And then let the count go and just fall into a natural rhythm that's comfortable. And then now, take your attention down to the belly and soften the belly. And maybe, if this feels comfortable, take a deeper breath so that you feel the belly expanding. And maybe take a full out breath. Just sense into this, what we call the inner compass. What's feeling comfortable for you? And then follow that guide, follow your own inner guide. Keeping your attention on the breath. And then let that fade away and let's just move into a very gentle body scan. Start at the top of the head and relax the forehead. Relax the eyes, the cheeks, the mouth. Notice where the tongue is lying in the mouth and maybe take the tip of the tongue forward to rest behind the upper front teeth. And then gently close the jaw. Notice the position of the chin. Just tip it down just a little bit so that you feel that gentle stretch in the back of the neck. Maybe take the shoulders up and back so that the heart space expands. And you sense the breath moving in and out of the chest. Relax all the way down both arms into the hands. And notice the position of the hands, however they are. They may be resting in each other. They may be resting on your lap. So moving back into the heart space, into the soft belly. And then with your attention on the spine, bring yourself into that gentle alignment so that you're sitting on your sit bones rather than the back of the base of the spine. Maybe just move into a position so that any tension in the back's released, maybe by taking a breath and releasing on the out breath. And then down into the area of the pelvis. That whole area, maybe breathe into this area and then just release the hips on the out breath. It's amazing how much tension we hold here without realizing. Into the legs now, into the upper legs. Maybe squeeze the upper legs and then release on the out breath. Releasing any tension into the knees, into the lower legs, into the ankles, and then sense the heel of the foot or each foot, the feet on the floor, the arch of the feet, the soles of the feet, gently resting on the floor, and the 10 toes. Maybe lift those 10 toes up, wiggle them, place them gently back on the floor. And then in your own time, just do a very gentle, kind body scan yourself to see if there's any little pockets of tension. And where you find those little pockets of tension or out of alignment, maybe, why don't you simply, with this kind attention, breathe into that space and then release on the out breath. Just relax as you go. And then move into this space of the heart space again when you're ready. Notice the chest gently rising. It might be the breath's quite shallow now in this state of relaxation. Just stay in this space for a moment, in the stillness. And if you find your mind wandering, just bring it back gently, purposely to the breath. Maybe adjust your body again. And now we're going to do some affirmations, which I'll guide you with, but it's to repeat silently to yourself within. And maybe believe these to be true. I am relaxed. I am calm. I am safe. I am on purpose. I am strong. I am confident. I am relaxed. I am still. I am light. I awaken to compassion. I awaken to harmony and flow. I am peace. I am peace. So in this place of peace, we're going to hold the stillness and the silence for a few minutes. If you have a mantra, your own mantra, please use that now. Or if you'd like to say, I am peace, I am love, on the in and the out breath. I am peace, I am love. Breathe in peace, breathe out love. So I'll watch the time. Again, if you find your mind wandering, that's absolutely fine. But with this gentle attention, bring it back to the purpose of reciting silently within a mantra. So let's have a few minutes of silence. So release the mantra and rest in the silence, restful awareness. And then connect with the breath again. Sense into the movement of the chest. Sense into the movement of the belly. Inviting in a deeper breath now. We're going to start moving back into the world. We're going to stay in this space and prepare ourselves to move gently back into the world from this inner space. So we feel our belly moving as we breathe in, and we feel our belly moving as we breathe out. Move up to the chest now and feel the chest rise as you breathe in, and feel the chest fall as you breathe out. And then move to the nasal passages again and sense the movement of the air moving up the nasal passages, the cooler air, and the warmer air leaving from the nasal passages. Sense into the temperature. Maybe sense into the subtlety of feeling the breath on the upper lip. And the movement of the air from the outside, moving in consciously to the inner, is as the air becomes breath. And then as we leave the air from the body, the breath becomes air. This is this exchange. We are part of the universe and part of nature. And we sense into this through the air, returning back to the outside world with the breath, becoming air again. So simple. We are part of nature. We have human nature. It's a remembering. So please keep your eyes closed, but feel into how you're feeling. Just notice if the body's feeling a little more relaxed, if the mind's feeling a little more settled. This is our gentle check-in. And then feel your feet on the floor. Wiggle your toes and maybe press your feet into the floor. And then feel your legs or your back against whatever's holding you. It may be the chair or the bed or the floor. Press into it so that you can feel yourself in the space that your body resides. Again, before we open our eyes. And then become aware through your mind's eye of the space around you. And I'm going to invite you to rub your hands now. Rub your hands together, because we do cool when we sit. Not only does this warm us up, but it helps with energy flow. And you'll sense that as you just gently move at this stage, that your breath starts to deepen and your heart rate starts to increase. And again, your eyes are closed. Why don't you just feel where you'd like to stretch and release? Maybe you want to stretch out your arms or up. Maybe you want to stick your feet out and wiggle your toes and fingers. It may be that you want to put your arms around yourself, give yourself a loving hug. This is a very self-compassionate move, giving yourself a hug. It may be that you want to touch your face. What feels right for you for some kind care, self-compassion? And then before you open your eyes, let's just rest in this space and maybe put your hands to your heart space. Maybe you want to put your hands together or you want to put it butterfly. Just place your hands on your heart space and just sense the movement of the breath. And I'm going to read you some beautiful words for my dear friend Alison Knox, and it's called The Heart of Compassion. My light aligns within yours. In grace, I am open to accept what is, without judgment, recoil, or condition. I awaken to compassion, facilitating hope, peace, and understanding. As a portal of stillness and heart-centered awareness, I find my purpose. I'm going to read that again because it's so beautiful. It's called The Heart of Compassion. My light aligns within yours. In grace, I am open to accept what is, without judgment, recoil, or condition. I awaken to compassion, facilitating hope, peace, and understanding. As a portal of stillness and heart-centered awareness, I find my purpose. So when you're ready, open your eyes by softening your gaze, looking down probably before you bring your eyes up to meet the screen. Maybe put a smile on your lips. And then when you're ready, if you'd like to look up, namaste. My light aligns with your light. And I'd just like to share, just as we're coming round, what we did there, what we did together. Many people, when we start and we're coming from a beginner's mind, it's like to do 20 minutes meditation or to do 40 minutes meditation may seem a little overwhelming. I certainly know when I started meditation, that was an impossibility in my mind. So starting with what I call just a minute. And just a minute often is enough. And it may be that you're doing a full-on practice each day, and then you just need to take those breaks to bring your awareness back when you're in a situation. Whatever. So the practices that we did there is, and to do these together or to do them individually, is just by simply closing your eyes if you're in a safe space, and then bringing your attention to the inner, to the breath. Breathing in and breathing out. So taking yourself from the outer chaos into that place where you can co-create, self-regulate the nervous system. And by counting your breath, it's beautiful for regulating your nervous system. And then, of course, the immune system follows suit. So counting the breaths and then doing just a very quick body scan. I did a longer body scan, but a very quick body scan can just mean that it's that focused attention just going down your body, because your body and your breath are always in the present moment. So you're always present when you are with the breath or present to the body. So just a very quick body scan. Some affirmations. I did quite a few affirmations. But believing those to be true, I am safe, I am courageous, I am confident. Whatever it is that you feel that you could do with a little bit more of, say them silently to yourself. Smile. That changes a lot. Slow down and do one thing at a time. We do multitask, and it's called continuous partial attention, where we never quite got our attention fully in the present. So remembering to just do one thing at a time. and notice how you're feeling. Notice how you're feeling again and again. Am I feeling okay? Just checking in and then going, okay, I'm worth it. I'll take a few moments of conscious breathing. So thank you so much for joining day 8, and I'll stop the recording now.